Let me check my latency over here. Nope, we are indeed live. All right, here we go. Let's get rid of the parental advisory over here. Bring it back. Hey there, Spinners and Sharks. Hope you're doing well. Ace of Vegas here, and we are actually here to bring you another hashtag Vegas podcast here with my buddy Christina from Seeking Vegas Sunrise. Christina, say what's up to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything all lined up over here. We've got a hell of a show planned because we are pretty sure. I'm going to go ahead and do this as a big thing. We're pretty sure we've got it figured out whether Vegas is going to survive, whether security or entertainment is going to make or break Las Vegas. So it's going to be epic. But before we do that, while I get everything kind of all lined up over here, I figured that we'd go ahead and talk a little bit about our guest star today, and that is Seeking Vegas Sunrise. Christina, why don't you go ahead and tell us about what you and Anthony do?
So Anthony and I started our podcast, or not our podcast, or our YouTube channel during the coronavirus. We felt like we were stuck at home, so we just started watching all the Vegas channels just so we wouldn't feel trapped. And we knew we had a trip coming up in July, so we figured we might as well give it a try. Anthony had been trying to talk me into it for a while, so and he had an Amazon cart full of a camera and all the accessories, and we finally decided to pull the trigger. Went and started doing things in Colorado just to practice, and we completed our first series in July. So
nice.
It's just us enjoying Vegas.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Also, they are fellow Coloradans here, so definitely have a soft spot for them, for sure. So that's always good.
Definitely.
So looking forward to this stream over here. So yeah, let's go ahead and what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk security, or should we talk venues first? What do you think?
Venues.
All right, let's talk about venues first. Okay, so I got a lovely card over here, and it's all lasers and orange for some reason. I don't know why, just all lasers and orange. So the big thing is, as you guys know, Spicy Steve Sisolak has allowed people to do gatherings of 250 or half your venue size, whichever is smaller. Now keep that in mind. So he's permitted that. So we're looking at Vegas shows coming back. I think Two Fab Dudes, they were talking about that in their live stream, and Wynn is threatening to be the first guys that bring the big entertainment back to Vegas. So yeah, let's go ahead and there's the display capture. Here it is. So Chris, what do you think about all this, bringing shows back to Vegas? Do you think this is the way to save Vegas? Because Vegas is looking a little... It's not hurting. I don't think it's hurting too bad, but it's definitely, the ego is bruised for sure for Vegas, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I think people do miss the shows. We really enjoyed our trip in July and felt like it was pretty low-key without the shows. We're big Spiegel World fans. So we've seen Absinthe a couple times. Anthony is in love with the Green Fairy.
As he should be.
$30 gin and tonic on the floor, like right in front of her as like she's coming down.
Oh man, right. There you go.
Get it. Yeah, and we've seen Atomic Saloon and Opium. So we're big fans, but it's kind of hard to imagine those small venues working out too well right now. I mean, Absinthe, it's like you barely have room for a person in that chair. And the chairs are like directly like touching each other as much as possible. So it'll be interesting to see if they change the layout at all in those theaters.
Yeah, it will be interesting, especially those real big ones, because I usually do a lot of the big shows, like the Cirque shows and all that, which I seem to realize are objectively good, but none of them ever just seem to click with me. It's so weird. I don't know what it is with Cirque shows. I like them. I know they're good shows. It's just... I get to a Cirque show and I'm like, okay, that was neat. That was cool, but I don't know, maybe it's too abstract for me. I'm kind of a linear thinker. That's why I like blackjack and video poker. And I don't like slots as much. I like craps because that's got a mathematical strategy to it. Other things not so much. So there's no mathematical strategy to Cirque.
We have gone to a Cirque show. We saw, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Monsieur.
Oh, yeah. Some French. That's close enough.
We got roped into one of those timeshare deals on our second
Steven
trip.
got you.
Know any better.
Not leaving Las Vegas. He tracked you down.
Yeah, we were like passing by Casino Royale, and this woman came and like dragged us in, and I don't know. It was our second trip, so we didn't know any better.
Right. It'd be
But
like
we got the tickets, so it was a lot of fun. I liked it because I'm a rock climber, so I like to see how they're climbing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at least those, they have extra space in the theater.
So no, that's a good thing.
You don't have to be right next to everybody.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I forgot that I wonder how that is going to affect the timeshare guys, because that is kind of their thing. Like, actually, come to think of it, it was about this time last year we went to Aria. It was me and Wonder Woman. We'd gone to Aria, and they had tried. Like the guy, like we were leaving Excalibur, and the guy's like, "Hey, you guys come out here often?" I'm like, "Yeah, all the time." And he's like, he's trying to do all these probing questions. Like, "Yeah, I mean, how much does it cost you to do a room?" "Oh, it's free. I play a video game." So nothing, like none of their usual stuff worked on me. Though, did they give you guys tickets? Like, yeah, we're actually going to go see this right now, and we're supposed to go eat over here because they gave us a credit. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to get.
Terrifying though.
Oh yeah.
We got on that bus and I was like, "This is how we die." I was like, "I don't know where this bus is going."
Bruh.
I was like, the sketchy woman at Casino Royale. I was like, "You gotta
that was your right, that was your first problem. She was like, "Oh, darling, you have to join us here at Casino Royale." I don't know why she's British, but she is. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and take you to the Wind and Blue. It's lovely. Just hop on the bus.
That's exactly where we went.
Oh, called it. Pick up the phone because I fucking called it.
Far off the strip. Oh my god.
Oh, and TNG, they love that place though. They are all about the Wind and Blue.
Beautiful.
No, they have a great looking pool over there. I'm looking at the, it's wild. It's wild there. Yeah, Kino's talking about the tickets to the Love Show. He got 2 free tickets there and still overpaid. Kino gets better deals than I do.
Yeah, he gets great deals. Anthony is the only person I know that's not a Beatles fan, so I don't think we'll ever get to see that.
All right, that's all the time we have today, Spinners and Sharks. We got to cut the stream short. Oh man, Pennies wants to do shots. Okay, you know what? I got you, fam. Because we're doing Caesars when we get back. So, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Christine. You want to go ahead and steer the live stream for a second? I was gonna maybe hit up the live chat, see what everybody thinks about shows coming back. Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and go get a drink.
All right, sounds good. I am way behind in the chat. No idea how hard it is to follow. All right. So do we have some countdowns going for October? All right. Let's see here. Blue. Oh, good. Cinnamon's not a Beatles fan either. I like the Beatles, but yeah, Anthony is just, every time he passes by the love sign, he's like, Beatles, such hacks.
There we go. I'm back.
All right.
What I miss?
What are you drinking?
Oh, you know what? I'm feeling pretty Fire Nation tonight, so we're gonna go ahead and get that fresh bottle of Jameson, that young Jameson over here. Because Pennies is actually gonna make it out to Rocktober, by the way, too. So mad shout outs to our boys, Mark. Pennies for Vegas. Is Buffet Princess coming too? Because her and him, they do amazing stuff. So that's Pennies for Vegas, and of course the mayor, Buffet Princess. Gotta respect the mayor. Gotta love the mayor.
Absolutely, and Sahari.
Yeah, and Sahara steals the show. Absolutely, best character on the show.
I know, our dog loves watching Sahara.
Sahara is top tier dog right there.
Totally.
Absolutely love Sahara.
We need to do a vlog dog video.
Totally. You know what? I'll tell you what. Like if I'm not like a huge dog person, but I'd absolutely pay the extra money at Bellagio to have Sahara stay with us. I will pay the pet rent. $150. I'm down.
Exactly.
All right. Well, cheers to Pennies for Vegas and cheers to Rocktober, hosted by our friends Vegas Best Ideas.
Yes.
Love Jameson. Good stuff. Go Sam Smith.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a bottle of Screwball for our modding.
Oh, dude, week. Absolutely. I'm down.
To break that carb thing.
Definitely, yeah. I wish you guys could come, but it's okay though. It's all right. You guys are gonna be there.
Know.
Y'all can host the live stream.
Hopefully soon. Yeah.
We'll work it out.
Like if we can get things figured out, maybe we'll get out there for one of the holidays. If not January.
Yeah, if not January. If not, then you'll actually be able to stay at Circa, so that'll be dope.
That's true. Yeah, we're hoping to stay at Circa for Punk Rock Bowling next year. So if it happens.
When it'll happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I will call Richard right now and tell him punk rock bowling has to happen.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, what about Wynn? Now I know essentially like the article, and it's this kind of lengthy article and all that. But here's the abridged version. I put the article in the description box for anyone that wants to afford to have brunch. You know what, JR? Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Good old JR. JR is also he's gonna have a liquid brunch with us probably on Friday night with Pennies actually. So that'll be great. So we're going to Mirage for that. Looking forward to that there. So shout out to JR, JP. If you guys haven't checked out Vegas Tips and Tricks, hit him up. This guy, if you guys think I'm knowledgeable about Vegas, that guy's the man. That guy's the man. I just got to say
like
that.
watching the news when you watch his
straight up. It's entertaining, but you learn things and you're like, whoa, I didn't even know about that. It's wild. Yeah. We absolutely love JR. He's the best part of the Saturday.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I saw that Wynn article, and I watched Turn It Up World go through security at the Wynn yesterday on their live streams.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Like, they cranked up the security too, but like them bringing back all the animatronics. Cause you checked out. You know how they have the giant frog, right?
Yeah.
So they're
Anthony's a big fan of that frog.
Yeah, there you go. So for anyone that didn't get to read the article, so basically everyone that's in the live chat right now, that isn't Anthony or Christina. Basically, here's what's happening. So they're bringing back shows and they're trying to do them big in outdoor venues now. So they built some new animatronics. It set them back some like, what was it, $14 million or something? I can't remember exactly how much it was. Something like really absurd. So they're going to go ahead and do those, the giant like Universal Studios animatronics, and they're going to bring back their showgirls and everything too, and it's going to be this whole huge thing. And Wynn is really excited to bring back these big shows here. They didn't say exactly when it's going to go down. I'm hoping by year's end, but they didn't say exactly when it's going to go down.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think this is going to be like a big thing for them? Do you think this is going to kind of overshadow what they're doing with the security? Or, I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Well, I was reading the article and I felt like they kept going back and forth between a new show and Lake of Dreams, like interchangeably. So it was kind of interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to do something in that space that they have outside of the Wynn, in the back.
Right, like a remixed Lake of Dreams there.
Yeah. I don't know. We're big fans of Lake of Dreams. We go to Lakeside at the Wynn when we go out there.
Right.
Great place. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, or if they do anything with the La Rev Theater.
There we go. Yeah, hopefully. Oh, Dan came through in the chat. What's up, Dan? Good to see you, bro. Thanks. Yeah, I had to clean up the dreads a little bit for the trip this weekend, so all good. I know it's kind of a weird thing though, because Wynn's always trying to do things big. My concern here is I'm worried that they're gonna go too big too soon. Here's why. Because you remember when they were trying to make that whole Lake Wynn thing, right? Remember when they were trying to make the Wynn Beach and all that? They had this beautiful concept art. They were going to have like a third tower or something crazy like that. And they had the whole beach and all. And I was just like, whoa, that looks pretty amazing. Then they rolled it back and they put the golf course back and everything. Like, how much money does it cost to put a golf course back compared to building an entire like lake or whatever? Like, I can only imagine how much money it costs to do that, because they bit off more than they could chew. And that's back when old man Wynn was still in charge. Steve Wynn, obviously. Any older guy in charge, I always call him old man whoever. I don't know why. It's a Brooklyn thing. It's like old man Jenkins over there. So old man Wynn, when he was still in charge, old Steve Wynn, he's the visionary. Say what you will about how he conducts his business. Say what you will about what he does personally, whether or not he's involved in anything Me Too based. That's a completely separate thing. But he is a visionary, one. And hell of a businessman, two. And probably a third thing to that effect. But that's not the point. The point is, he goes big with this stuff. And seeing him go, and it looks like Matt Maddox, his successor, is definitely still trying to go big with this too. Not quite as big. I think $14 million, that's pocket change. They lost $1 billion last quarter. They're not concerned about $14 billion. This is the loss leader thing. It's just trying to get people back into the seats, I think, personally. But, I don't know. I think this might this might not be a good $14 million. I don't think this is going to pay off until maybe next year. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, but.
Yeah, I think it might be a while before people go to shows.
Yeah, right.
And it's just.
Which is a shame, because I want to go to a show. I mean, do you want to go to a show?
I think we would. I mean, I think Absinthe is opening next month, from what I've heard.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I'd be willing to go to a show just to have something different to do, but I still felt like there were plenty of other things to do when we were there in July.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to do, frankly. Like, I want burlesque shows to come back. I'm just like a huge burlesque guy. And you know, I mean,
we are too.
It's such a cool thing. I mean, it's a talent show with boobs. Like, what else about that don't you want? Right? Everybody loves boobs. I don't know. That's why I think the indecent exposure laws are completely backwards. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to look at man pecs. Like, even people that are into men don't want to look at man pecs. Everyone wants to look at boobs. It's great stuff.
Exactly. The two fab dudes have their finger on the pulse with the two fab boobs.
I ordered one straight up. I was like, Raj, do you have one? Like, I wasn't kidding about that. I straight up have the order right here. I will pull that shit up right now.
Nice.
I straight up ordered one right now. I'm expecting one for Wonder Woman back there.
Nice.
So
yeah, we've actually gone to Burlesque out of Denver at Ophelia's.
Oh, okay, good deal. Yeah, we went to the Clock Tower one actually. Me and some friends from school.
Cool.
Yeah, because
one of my passed by there and like looked in the window.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like, because I got a friend that used to work with me in the hospital actually, who's friends with one of the dancers there. So she got us like the VIP access and all that. We watched the regular show, and then we got to hang out with all the dancers after the show and all that too. It was amazing. I'll tell you what. Those are some really talented women and a couple guys too, but like really talented people. Amazing, amazing.
Definitely. Yeah, if they could do socially distanced burlesque.
I think burlesque would be a good thing because it's a smaller venue generally. Like the ones we have in Denver, I think those are like 100-person venues. So I think running 50 people in there is economically feasible. As opposed to, let's say, something giant like, let's say Zumanity, for example, while we're on the subject of burlesque, because that's kind of a burlesque show. I mean, how big is the theater at New York, really?
Not too sure. We haven't been in that one.
You know, yeah, I gotta check. Let me see how many people that actually seats. Humanity Theater.
Looks like JR's headed to the Spearmint Rhino.
Oh, confirm. JR, when we going, bro? I mean, for research. For research. Honey, exactly. It's all for research, I promise.
Just for a vlog.
It's just for a vlog, babe.
Yeah.
She can hear me, right? I don't know if she can hear me. Christine, you gotta back me up, bro. You gotta back me up. You gotta be my bro.
Exactly. It's all professional.
All right. Okay, I'm looking at the seating chart over here. This is probably like, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull up the seating chart. I'm gonna pull it up over here. What's that roughly look like to you? This is the one for Zumanity. I remember I sat in the balcony when I did my review. I was approximately here where I'm hovering my mouse. And I kind of feel like that's probably a 1,000-person venue. I don't know. I can't really get a good read on that. I feel like every row is like, I don't know, I'd have to actually calculate this, but this is at a minimum a 500-person venue, I'm sure. Size. It's a good venue. It's a big venue for sure. So,
I mean, all the Spiegel World ones are tiny.
Right. So
tiny.
It actually kind of makes it... No, actually, Andy is saying that Zumanity Theater is not that big. So, looking at it, I don't know. It couldn't be... Is it over 500? Andy, hit me up. Comment section down there. How big is the Zumanity Theater? Like, for real. Because based on that, I can see if that's worth opening up or not worth opening up. Because you got to keep in mind, too. Even at, like, what is it, $70 a ticket or something like that, which isn't that bad for a Vegas show, realistically, let's be honest. You can get them cheaper, you can get them free, but like $70, let's say an average of $70 a ticket, right? How many tickets do you really need to sell for that to be profitable? Is it like an airline where you have to be 75% occupied? Or is it like, is it like a hotel where it's like you're getting a 70% markup on everything? So if you get even 50% capacity, it's not that big a deal. That's the real question. Is it worth it to open the shows like this? That kind of makes me wonder.
Yeah. It probably depends on how many performers they have, and what skill level they are, and then like what kind of special effects they have.
Right.
Like I'm sure O would be expensive to open.
O would be expensive. I think
Just the
Ka.
water bill alone.
Yeah, the water by itself. I think Ka would be super expensive too, because that's like, that big rotating stage thing they have, and
a lot of paychecks on that.
There's
stage.
a lot of that. Yeah, it is. You got to pay the people. People are expensive. Frankly, I'm thinking about it. They got a little cross with us last year because we had like a major project that we were doing, so we were putting in a lot of overtime. Like, we weren't seeing our wives, we weren't seeing our children, we weren't seeing our girlfriends all on the team and all that. Like, we come back after a 14-hour day, and then we'd hack at some more stuff, and then we ended up tripling the size of our team because of it, because there's so much to do. And it got really expensive, the OT that me and the boys were putting in, like, straight up. So people are expensive. That's a big part of it. Like, a venue's expensive, but it's just space. Like, it's like renting a house. Like, you buy a house. It's I don't know, out here in Denver, it's like $2,000 a month, depending on what you're getting. That's a flat rate compared to whoever's living in there. You got to pay them, like $20-$30 an hour or whatever their salary is. Those hours add up fast.
They really do. Plus, they have their rehearsal time. And all of that.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. So yeah, people are expensive. The effects are expensive. I mean, you make some of it up in the commodities, like buying one of these suckers over there. There's a reason they're $20. They're way too expensive. They are way too expensive. But it it's like, hey, I'm on vacation, whatever. I don't care.
It's worth it.
Right?
They're good drinks.
Yeah.
And then you get a head start before you leave the theater.
Right, exactly. So, I don't know. So, looking at it, I don't think it's a good time for big shows to come back, yet it's not economically feasible. The only thing that I can personally see from big shows coming back is it just being kind of a traffic driver, just like a way to get people back in there. Just like, hey, there are more things to do. Yeah, these are going to be really sought after tickets, unless they just jack up the price of the tickets there. But then at that point, it's like, oh, do I have a My Vegas comp for this? I got my phone off screen. Do I have a My Vegas comp for this? No. Okay, I guess we're not seeing a show this time, babe. Let's go back to the room. I don't know.
Go to that Tix for Tonight booth.
Yeah, right. Which is, the Tix for Tonight isn't even that good, because once you get past tax and everything,
it's never a good deal.
It's not even that good deal. Hit up your host. See what your play gets you. Honestly, more often than not, hitting up the concierge or even the front desk or your host or whatever. That's where I've gotten the best deals. Obviously, that are outside of just the free My Vegas comps. It's just like, boom, forget about it. The Tix for Tonight, once you get the taxes and the fees and all that, because they added their extra fees on, and it's like $5 difference, maybe $10 difference. It just depends. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe the animatronic shows will be a little more feasible, but who knows?
I can see that. I don't know. So comedy shows. I saw comedy shows somewhere in the chat there. I can't. Was that Andy or was that who was that said that? I got to scroll back.
So we actually saw a comedy show up here at the drive-in about a month ago.
Okay.
It was really cool. It was Bert Kreischer.
I know that. I listen to that guy all the time on the comedy show, on the comedy radio channel out here.
Yeah, so he kind of kicked off the whole drive-in thing, but it was pretty cool. I mean, that's definitely a good option for venues.
Yeah, and that is a good thing because there aren't any special effects with comedians or anything like that. It's a smaller venue too, so you can afford to have 50 people. Because what's a $50 ticket for 50 people? That's like what, $2,500 a show. So that probably roughly breaks about even, and it gets people in there, and then on their way out, hey, let me go ahead and buy some drinks. So let me go ahead and do. So you're probably making it up on the back end with food and drinks and all that. 2-drink minimum, even at something cheap for Vegas, I should say, cheap at like $10 a cocktail or whatever. That's money. Yeah, that's money. A sold out show like that, that's good stuff.
Yeah, a comedy show outside might be the answer. I mean, that's a good way to do things. I mean, there's plenty of outside spaces at places like Caesars too.
Right. So
they could turn the pools into a venue in the winter.
Hold up,
That's kind of cool.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So,
really cool.
And you could even use some of the adult pools too, because they're a little smaller and a little more intimate. Like, I'm not sure. Have you ever been to any of the adults only pools at like Mandalay or Mirage or anything? Beautiful pools, and I'm not
We've
just
been to the pool at Mandalay for a concert, but not the adult pool.
Yeah, the adult pool. I really like the adult pools. They're smaller. There are more hot tubs there. It's a more intimate setting and all that. Last time that we went to the one, I think it was February, and it was cold, so the main pool was closed. So there were kids there and everything. So obviously there wasn't any European bathing or anything like that. Which, I figure kids shouldn't be in Vegas in the first place, especially not in the wintertime. Like, what? Stop ruining Vegas for me, children. And that's even saying that as a parent. I'm saying that no kids in Vegas. I don't want kids in Vegas.
Yeah.
But no, I think that'd be a really great thing. Just having that extra entertainment. You get to hang out in the pool, and you hear hearing live music. I think would be an outstanding thing or something like that. So you even get even a local band, local jazz or rock band or something like that. That'd be sick. I'd love that.
Yeah, the show that we saw at the beach at Mandalay Bay was probably one of the best shows we've been to. It was Dirty Heads.
Okay.
Right. Great show.
Can check them out.
It wasn't socially distanced, but this was before that time.
Right, so it didn't really matter. It wasn't applicable.
Yeah, but I could see comedy getting bigger. I mean, Pauly Shore just moved back to Vegas. Or moved to Vegas. I don't think he lived there before.
Weasel trying to get his shows going, but...
Yeah, he's got a podcast, too, and he vlogs.
He does have a podcast. I don't know what it is with
Paul. October.
Right. We'll see what happens. I don't know. As long as he's not in Biodome, I'm fine with it. I hated Biodome with a passion. So badly. I don't know why. It's just a goofy, stupid movie. It's no different than Austin Powers or any other goofy movie like that. But I just hated that. I didn't even know he was funny until... I didn't know he was funny until a Goofy movie, straight up.
Yeah.
Because he was great. He really, pulled it off over there. Love Pauly Shore. And I didn't know he was funny for a minute. Then I heard his stand-up, and I'm like, wow, he's funny. Why would he do Biodome?
It was the 90s.
Right? No, it'd be like that. It is like that. It's like, what was that awful movie that Eddie Murphy did? Pluto Nash.
Oh, we didn't see that one.
Oh, don't bother. It's a waste of a movie.
But Eddie Murphy's great.
I know, he's hilarious. We know, him and Robin Williams. I hate to see them in bad movies because I'm sitting there like, you guys are funny. Why would you do this? And, God rest Robin's soul and all that. And, God forbid anything happens to Eddie because we can't lose Eddie.
No,
we can't lose.
Robin was hard enough.
Robin was hard enough. We can't lose Eddie too. I'd die. I couldn't do that. But it just hurts to see them in bad movies too. Funny people in bad movies just breaks my heart.
Yeah. Well, if you hear a "Hey Bros" at stage door, you know who it is.
Yep. Confirmed. Pauly Shore confirmed for Rocktober.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. Okay. All right.
Probably would come too.
Let's tweet him after this. Let's invite him.
Totally should.
We totally should. No, let's Instagram him.
Hilarious.
Are you down?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, give me some X. Give me some X's. Boom, we down. Okay, we're on the... Oh, Wonder Woman bringing the dinner. Hi. Thank you, baby.
Yep.
Lovely.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Honey, Christina says she's looking forward to meeting you.
Oh, likewise.
We'll make it happen too.
She says likewise. She's looking forward to see. We were supposed to do dinner earlier, but we didn't get a chance to because reasons. Yeah. 3 reasons. So
yes.
Good stuff.
Several reasons.
Several reasons.
Reasons all at the same time.
Perfectly good reasons for the record. Just for the record. So
yeah.
Awesome. So any final thoughts before we kind of roll into the next segment here? Anything from the live chat too? And anyone in the live chat have any thoughts about this?
Looks like they're making some whiskey liquor up plans.
And
there's some bands rehearsing on Fremont.
See, I'm not sure if I'm old enough for any of that stuff there.
The bands on Fremont are always hilarious. We saw Candlebox a couple years ago.
Now, I haven't heard of them.
They're a 90s band. You'd probably recognize their songs, but not that they're Candlebox.
Okay.
But it was as if they didn't rehearse at all since the 90s. And
that's why they're on Fremont.
They're on stage. They're like, what's with the internet and people taking pictures of their food?
I mean,
guys,
that's a good question, though.
Fun of the internet.
Oh, you can absolutely make fun of the internet. It's not helpful, but
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, hard to be socially distant there, too. It doesn't look like Fremont is anyways.
Yeah, Fremont's never going to be. It's like...
Although, who goes to Vegas to be socially distanced.
Right, it's a hard thing to do. I think even when we went 4th of July weekend, when I went with the Kinos and with Sin City Nerds and Cinnamon and VBI, Richard, we were all down there doing the group poll. I think actually Catman19, he made it in. He's regular in the chat here. He actually made it down there for the group poll, and that was awesome to actually get to meet him in person.
Nice.
But no, it was still kind of packed. They were doing their best. They were running around like, hey, pull those masks back up. You had your beers, because that's their job. That's 100% their job. I'm never gonna fault security for doing that. I don't want to see the venues shut down. I'd rather be harassed about masks than not being able to go to Vegas at all. 100%. All over there.
Definitely.
Yeah. But it was.
Yeah, I'm just happy Vegas is open.
Yeah, I know it's amazing stuff. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it was tough to find a little bit of space. It was possible, but it was tough. I think at one point they ended up having to turn people away that weren't actively gambling. So it's a weird thing. But
yeah.
Let's talk while we're on the subject there. Let's talk about this a little bit. So next item on the agenda is security. I don't know why I said it like... No, actually, I do know why I said it like that. If anyone's played Jurassic World Evolution, in the first level, the executive that works with you, that's how he says security. He says that there are 3 different versions of people you can work with. There's the science division, security, and entertainment. And he just says that out of the blue for no reason. No one ever addresses that. It's just like, he just says security, weird that one time, and it never comes back up again. It is so jarring and weird. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm one of those gamer nerds there. Just FYI, in case you guys didn't know.
Nice.
So there we go. But anyway, though, so while we're talking about security, we know that venues have beefed up their security. And little background on this. So I did a video about this pretty recently. I did several videos about this pretty recently. About the fist fights in Vegas, and then people out there shooting their pistols. I'll say pistol because I don't think that gets demonetized. I don't know. But there have been violent occurrences on the Strip, unfortunately, and there have been whether they're hand to hand or they're long range, anything like that, one of those deals. And there are some unsavory characters on the Strip. It's not a new thing. I've met unsavory characters on the Strip before all of this happened. I'm going to say that. And it's interesting to see how much the crime has raised in Vegas. The crime rate has raised, and how they're responding to it. So Wynn is a big example of how they're responding to it. They put up metal detectors. They have additional security, hired more security officers, and it's mainly on the weekends that they're doing this. So they're wanding everybody down, checking bags and all that. And it looks like the Cosmo has followed suit. Now they have some slightly more stringent recommendations. I have an article on it linked in the description box below that we want to talk about a little bit. But basically they've done the same thing. They're putting up metal detectors. They're doing the wands and all that. They have additional security officers. So unless you have a Players Club card, unless you have a reservation, unless you come in to gamble, unless you're a guest of the hotel, after a certain period of time, I think it's like 6 o'clock at night till, 6 a.m. the next morning or something like that. Yeah, they're like, no thank you. No thank you. Which is interesting for me. I've never heard Vegas say no thank you before. I don't know. So, Chris, what do you think? How do you feel about all this, just straight up?
It's kind of hard to... I don't know. I feel like the Cosmo is kind of putting up a facade of security.
Like a security theater, right?
Yeah, like... you may enter the building for all the things that you want to do in this building, but not for anything else. And it's like, well, what other reason would you have to go in the building besides going to the casino? It's easy to get an identity card.
Right.
Getting
they're free.
Room,
they are free,
going
straight
for
up.
Food. They have the best food, I think, on the Strip. And I'm not sure what's helpful about closing some of the entrances. Because from what I've heard, you can only go in the one door that nobody uses. The one that's by Starbucks.
Oh.
You can't go in the door upstairs at night or...
Oh, you mean the one that comes in from Crystal's, right? Next to Aria.
Yeah.
That's the only way I ever go in.
The main entrance coming from Bellagio.
Why would...
I think it's just the Starbucks one. And, the only people I've ever seen at that Starbucks are the troopers.
Right, yeah, basically, I think Sin and the Troopers are the only ones I've seen over there. I think even last time I went there with Hog and 2 Cent for their live stream, we even went in through the top because I tried to sneak up on them during the live stream. I wasn't fast enough. 2 Cent is fast. Let me tell you that she is super fast. So have you met them in person yet? Have you had a chance to do that?
Not yet.
Yeah, no, she is super fast. Let me tell you there. Again, I have a soft spot for teachers. There, I have a teacher that lives over here. She was the one that brought me the lovely dinner over here, obviously. But no, they are super fast and they are amazing people, straight up. But super fast, impossible to keep up with. But what I was getting at is we took the top entrance by Aria.
Yeah. That's what I feel like most people use that entrance or the one that's by Bellagio. So I think they just closed the one, and then that's where they're checking everybody. So maybe it's just not possible to check at all doors. But
they might not have enough security officers for that.
There's no reason you couldn't get in. Like you could just say you're going to the casino or have an identity card.
Right, because they're not hard to get.
It's not hard to know how secure it is. I know when we were in there in July, it didn't feel like they were enforcing masks a whole lot. And they'd have, like,
what time did you guys go, though?
Up by the door, but not doing anything.
What time did you guys go, though?
We stayed there, so it didn't feel like it was super secure. We didn't feel unsafe at any time during the trip. I think it was more crowded over by Flamingo and the Link, but it's always crowded there anyways. True.
But you guys went like mid-July, right? I think you guys
Yeah, middle of July.
Like around the 15th?
Yeah.
Right, because we went with VBI and Cinnamon Girl and then the Nerds and the Kinos and everybody. So, and I think Jacob even dropped. Yeah, Jacob did drop by for that because I kidnapped him, actually. Yeah. I kidnapped him. He was like, hey, bro, you want to go crash Cinnamon's stream? And he's like, hell yeah, dude. So we did that. But what ended up happening was I think the whole time we were at the group pools, so we did Cinnamon's group pool, we did VBI's group pool, and then we just kind of goofed around a little bit before we went out to go drink and eat and all that afterwards. TVP even came by, Vegas Paradise did. But the whole time we were there, like security, they were swarming. They're like, hey, get that mask up over there. Enjoy that beer, but get that mask up. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And it was within like 4 seconds.
Phases. Right. Like that phase was extra secure. Then when we went, they were getting more lax. And then I think now they're going back into more secure.
Yeah, probably with all this happening.
Yeah. Well, and the Wynn, I think, is leading the whole security thing.
Yeah, they it's kind of interesting that the Wynn is now kind of the trendsetter here. Because you got to keep in mind, they were the first ones that were like, yo, let's go ahead and shut it down like a circus clown. Then Sislak made the like obligatory order, and then it went forward, and then I think eventually Caesars, they found a loophole, but then their loophole got closed or whatever, and they just kind of followed suit too. But it used to be that MGM was kind of the trendsetter, because 3 years ago, let's talk about 3 years ago a little bit. I think it was Zootors. Zootors, shout outs to you over here. Zootors said in the live chat, quote, I'm shocked they never had metal detectors since the mass shooting at Mandalay. We all know what that is. Yeah. We all know what that is. We're not going to give that person at least me personally, I'm not going to give that person. I already gave him his one video earlier last week. Not going to give his name any power. He doesn't deserve it because he was a sick son of a bitch. And there's a special place in hell for him. Glad he's burning there. Wish that we could have, prosecuted him some way. I said persecuted. I meant prosecuted. Actually, you know what? I meant both because he had it coming. That was disgusting what he did, straight up. Like I was shaking for weeks just thinking about that. But let's go ahead and I'm going to let that go. Anyway, though, since what happened at Mandalay.
But that would have been the time to increase security. Right.
And we were having these same conversations back then. Like, that was a big thing in the review journal. Like, looking at these articles now from 3 years ago, like, if you type in, like, let's call it what it is, Vegas shooting, you get a lot of SEO results. And I know it's keywording, I know it's tagging and all that, but you also get a lot of SEO results from 3 years ago, from about this time 3 years ago, that are also kind of coinciding with what's happening now. And I found it was speak of the devil, there's the Vegas Paradise. No, he's not the bad guy, I'm just saying, because Vegas Paradise was who I was talking about at the Cosmo, because he joined us too. So no, Vegas Paradise is good. Go subscribe to him. He's the opposite of what I was just talking about, just for the record. To make that clear. Now he's our brother and he is fly. But no, back on topic, getting super serious again. These conversations are very similar now, and I'm just kind of wondering what really changed. You think it was the severity or the frequency? Because I'm finding that a lot of these cases I'm reading, they don't seem to be random acts. I think there are some random acts. I've read about 2 random acts, and there are more of them. Definitely more random acts of violence going on. But a lot of them seem like they're really kind of personal things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think some of the incidents are provoked too. I think some of the security guards are being kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're pushing people a lot further than they need to.
Yeah, I've heard about that at Cosmo before too. Yeah. Cosmo especially, like, got a friend.
I saw that at Cosmo.
Yeah,
actually.
That
scary.
It happens a lot at Cosmo, for the record, because TVP's had. I'll say TVP's had his experience. Yeah, you saw that one, but they squashed the beef. They took care of him. He's feeling good about it, so we're not going to say anything negative there because he's asked us not to. So Tim, I apologize, man. I didn't mean to bring it up like that. I was just bringing that up. But my other homie, Chris, she used to do the podcast with us, Chris Rocks. She's had kind of a rough experience with them too, just over shoes and little things like that. And I think my very first podcast was over Meek Mill, and him getting barred from Cosmo. Then management was like, "Are you insane? That's Meek Mill. That guy's got like $40 million. Why would you kick him out? Come on, he's here to hang out with Khaled and probably pop some bottles. Get him back in here." And it's just so. I'm not sure what it is with Cosmo. They zigzag being super secure.
They're either way too lenient, or they're like being disrespectful to people.
Like it's wild. It really is.
There's nothing in between.
Yeah, there's no in between. Exactly that. Like, I don't know what it is with them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, with that. Oh God.
No, go ahead. Yeah, after you.
Oh, I was gonna say, with your Wynn article that you posted, I noticed they were most proud of the resumes of their security guards.
Right, like former CIA and like Navy SEALs and all that. Like, damn, am I gonna get shot if I forget?
What are they expecting at the Wynn?
Like, I don't know. Well, I guess that's the thing, because they only had one brawl that particular weekend. They only had that one fight. It was a big fight, but it was nothing like...
And I think that was a personal situation.
That seemed like a very personal situation. Kind of seemed like what happened at the Flamingo, because I saw the what happened at Flamingo, and that was super not safe for work there. Like, and especially that one girl in the yellow, she was going hard. She did not give a damn. Whole shirt flew off and everything, and I was like, shoot, hold up, you're not even gonna pull it back down. No, okay, she's gonna keep pounding. All right. Like, I was ashamed for her. Like, oh, sis, find your shame,
what
please.
Happens in Vegas doesn't stay in your church.
No, goes on YouTube now. So I think maybe just because there have been so many of them compared to what happened at Mandalay, because that was like a one-time thing, and then nothing really big happened like that for a very long time. At least nothing that was publicized, you know?
Yeah.
Because crime rates have been going up in Vegas. That's just how it is. And they're talking about Metro Vegas too, so that's a combination of things. And always on the Strip, they're like, oh, let's keep it super clean, because they want to keep it super clean for tourists. So guys like you and me feel like, hey, I want to hang out here. I want to go ahead and get drunk, get crazy, spend some money, whatever. Have a good time, make some memories.
Feel like it's like Vegas is one of the only places I feel really safe walking around, like outside at 3:00 in the morning.
Right. Yeah, like my biggest thing that I worry about, I'm not sure about you, like, and this is again as a heterosexual black male in his 30s here, with 3 or 4 black belts under his belt there too. The only thing I really worry about is maybe getting pickpocketed. I'm not too worried about a fight. If I can't outmuscle someone, I can usually outmaneuver them. So I'm not too worried about a fight. I'm a pretty good speaker. I'd like to think. I do stutter from time to time.
Yeah, you can probably talk him out of the fight before it even started.
I can generally talk him out of the fight. I try to be cool. I'm like, hey, bro, it's not worth it. It's a felony here in Vegas. You don't want to do this while you're on holiday. How about this? Let's go into the Bird Bar. We'll have a couple beers. I'll buy you a couple beers, and we'll go ahead and see about that pretty little number on the other end of the bar. How about that instead? I'm a good wingman.
Well, I think a lot of the reason why these things are happening is people have been cooped up in their house for 6 months. Like they're with the same people all the time, and I think I've heard from many people that it's a bad year for everybody. Like
Right.
everybody's having their own personal apocalypse. So I
Right.
think they go to Vegas to blow off some steam, and everybody is subject to being stuck in their house. So
True.
I think stuff just happens. I think people are just a little tense, and
It's a rough year for sure. Like, what about even in FOCO there? Like, would you say things are a little more tense in FOCO even, like even locally?
we haven't gone out a whole lot. I actually went to an outdoor concert at our friend's band was playing. They're a rockabilly band.
Mhm.
They were playing like on a patio. But I feel like everybody's been pretty calm that I've seen. I feel like people in the grocery store are weird.
Mm.
Like I try not to go in the stores because like that's like the weirdest place I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
People are rude. Like I went into the grocery store and like there was like for some reason a slice of bread sitting on the floor, and I like picked it up, and like this employee ran it over and like grabbed it. He's like, "Thank you so much," and he looked like he was gonna cry. Like nobody had been nice to him for weeks.
Oh.
And I was like, "There's no reason people can't help each other." Like.
Yeah, no, for sure,
so
for
I
sure.
think it's just, yeah, I feel like the grocery store is the weirdest spot.
Yeah, the grocery store is weird right now. I agree. I think
Yeah.
a lot of things have been kind of rough. Like, yo, Gwen, Anthony, good to see you guys in here too. I think even in Denver, there's been more violent crime, and also a statistic I've been reading, and this is an awful thing, but it's a super awful thing, especially as a family guy myself too. Like I like to make jokes and all that, but there's a certain line you don't cross, and I've been seeing a lot of domestic violence headlines. Like that's increased quite a bit, and there have been more homicides, more fights here, even in Denver, and this is a generally pretty safe place to live. It's considerably safer than I'm from New York, and this is considerably safer. Like we used to put like the bar, that big red thing that you kind of put across your steering wheel so no one can kind of jangle.
The club.
Yeah, the club. That's the one.
I had the club.
Yeah, we used to use that all the time.
My dad made me get it when I got my first car.
That was it. And we used to use that all the time because that's what you did in Brooklyn. I mean, they could strip that thing, and then they could hot wire it, and they could pull your wheels off even with the locks in like 5 minutes. Some of those guys over there.
Yeah.
But that was like a normal thing that we did, and then we'd walk around. People would leave their cars unlocked when we moved out here in the late '90s, and it was just like, that's weird. People were like,
yeah,
that's a weird thing. It was different. It was different. Yeah, so you know how it is. So it was like weird out here to do that, but even out here, it's gonna be like, whoa, hold up, this is this is pretty wild here. Just seeing the crime's gone up, the violence has gone up.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of something everywhere. It's just kind of a symptom, and this whole thing is just bringing out the worst in people, and it's unfortunate, but it's tough. It's tough. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is like a make or break thing for Vegas, and I think the security theater is going to be kind of a nice thing, but I'm not sure how permanent it is. That's kind of my thought. I'm wondering if this is going to be a permanent thing. How long do you think it's going to last, really?
It's hard to tell. Like, hoping that we'll have a vaccine soon, but I'm at the same time afraid to take any vaccine that's being rushed.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you just have to kind of make the best of it, get to Vegas, and get outside once in a while.
All right.
Yeah. So it looks like Gwendolyn was wondering about some of the food we ate on our trip.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit. What kind of good stuff did you guys get?
Yeah. So food is like one of the main reasons we go to Vegas. We love food. We have good food here in Fort Collins, but you get sick of the same places all the time.
You guys have a great
it used
Japanese
to be that
restaurant
we went
up
to
there.
Denver for restaurants all the time. Now we go to Vegas.
Right.
But yeah, we go to Golden Steer just about every trip.
All right.
We just love it. They have some of the best service we've ever experienced. Super friendly. It's like that old school like Rat Pack kind of vibe.
Right, there you go.
we
That's something I want to
usually-
talk about too, actually. I'll let you
Yeah.
finish, but let's talk about that
Oh,
right
go ahead.
afterwards. No, after you. I insist.
Oh yeah, the only other thing I was going to say is most of the restaurants we go to are in the Cosmo because they just have some of the best ones available. But yeah, big fans of Beauty in Essex and China Poblano, and all those places. We didn't make it to Burger this time because
Right.
it was closed.
Gordon didn't want to come
usually our
through.
first stop. Yeah, now it's open.
Oh, bloody hell. Like, Gordon, come on now, mate. Get it together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually our first place when we get off the plane. So,
Right.
yeah.
So, well, I was thinking about this too. What did you just say? You did just say a thing, and I already forgot what it was.
Oh, Rat Pack?
Yeah, Rat Pack. So, yeah, that's another interesting thing that's kind of come up, is people keep popping in my comment section over here. And I'm not hating on them. I just find it interesting. People keep popping up in the comment section. I don't think they're regular subscribers. I think they're newer subscribers who are saying, yeah, you know, the mob wouldn't have, you know, the Chicago outfit, they were the biggest mafia influence out here. They're saying, you know, they wouldn't have put up with this over here. And I'm like, yeah, the mob was the best place to run. You know, they were the best guys running Vegas. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, yeah, but no. Like, do you think if the mob still ran Vegas, things would be okay? I have my own opinions about this, but I'd like to see some outside opinions. Like, what do you think? And I guess live chat too. Let's open it up to you guys. Do you guys think that if the wise guys were still out here, or still out here in force, I should say? I know that the mafia does still have some ties out here. We do some underground sports betting, racketeering, and all that. They're never going to go away. Organized crime, it doesn't go away. You got a big enough society, it just happens. It happens, okay? One of those things. Let's talk. You know, we'll talk about that later. But you know, if the mob was still chilling out here, do you guys think that we'd be having this problem? So, Chris, I'll open the floor to you first, ma'am.
Probably not. Honestly,
You don't think so?
I think people would be staying a little more in line. I don't think Al Capone will put up with all this stuff.
Yeah.
We just finished watching Boardwalk Empire for the second time, so
Oh, there you go.
still pretty fresh. And then we watched the new Capone movie, so
Right.
wish they had gone to Vegas more in that show,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it was a different time when the mob ran Vegas. I think, you know, people got dressed up, and it was like, you know, you'd go to a show or go to a nice dinner, and
That's true.
I don't know.
I don't know. I still like getting
different vibe.
dressed up. I like getting pretty
Yeah, I guess we
before I
still do
go.
all that.
I like to
in a
doing that. I
different
don't know.
way.
I wear the fedora
Yeah.
and everything too, which either means I'm a total neck beard, which could be a thing, or I might be a mother, father, gentleman. I don't know. You guys to the ring. You know, I'm hitched. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody with the with the fedora. I just think it looks cool, and it's kind of a tribute to my grandpa. He used to wear them all the time too, and he'd wear them up until he
cool.
passed too. And I like to wear the same style as him, so it's more of that. I can live without the fedora. It's not a big thing for me. I just kind of like them. But I stopped wearing them for a while because I'm like, oh, it's like a whole neck beard nice guy thing, and it's like, no, I can't be that guy. You know what I'm saying, Chris? No,
Yeah.
Chris, you know exactly what it is because they've hit you up on the Instagram before. I'm sure they've slid into the DMs. You know the guys. You know the ones.
Which ones?
You know the ones that are like, milady, don't you look so... you know the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always fun.
Always fun. So
Try to block those pretty quickly.
they ruined the fedora, but, you know. So overall, you're thinking that if Al and his homies were still hanging out, if Bugsy Siegel was still here. Oh, did I didn't. Oh,
that was me.
All right, no worries. So if Bugsy Siegel was still alive and the rest of the homies were still there, we'd be doing all right on the strip. There'd be fewer shootings.
I think so. Maybe. Well, I don't know. They'd have their own shootings.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, I think that's the thing that people do forget about.
There'd be more shootings, but less civilian shootings.
Less civilian. Yeah, they had more Tommy guns, but it was more of a business thing, not a personal thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's always kind of my thing there. I'll do that at the end of the stream over here, but let's go ahead and open it up to the live chat over here. Let's see here. TVP, the mob still has ties in Vegas for sure. I'd agree with that. Let's see. Frank Kaluta. This is from Coco. She's saying that the mob was gone in Vegas. I wonder about that. I know that they've been super active. Not super active, but they were as active as recently as 2011. Doing a lot of underground sports betting and all that. I know that was a big thing as even as it grew in the casinos, that was kind of a big thing. So kind of makes you wonder. Let's see, New York. New York came through. Good to see you, man. Just saw you on Two Fab Dudes. The mob is a shell of what it used to be. I wonder if that's a good thing or not. Again, just for the record, Mud Spinners and Sharks, these guys are technically the bad guys. Just
Oh,
for the
Denise just made a good point.
Oh, what's it? What did
I
Denise
think
say?
the reason why all this is happening, or she mentioned social media.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have
we're seeing it
access
more.
to information.
That is true. Yeah, because there have always been fights on the strip. There have always been
Yeah,
guys
that's
getting
a
a little
good
too.
point, Denise.
Yeah, I remember I went with my best bro. Actually, I took him for his first Vegas trip when we were in our 20s, and we were single, so we were out womanizing. Because that's what you did. It wasn't like womanizing, like, we were like, oh, I'm gonna stay over here, and then we'd go trip. We're trying to meet women. So in that regard, there, it was like we're being very transparent about it. We talked to these Japanese girls, these British girls, like we were talking to women because we were young, single guys, and that's what we like to do. And everyone was fine with it. We were buying drinks, and if they were like, hey, we're done, we were like, okay, you have a good rest of the day, because we're men, we're not like jackasses or anything like that. That's just what we did. We're like, all right, cool. Looks like we struck out. It was fun talking to you. No worries. It happens. But anyway, I remember I was talking to this Australian lady. She was very pretty, very nice. She was playing the slots too, and she was entertaining us and all that. Went to go hit the bathroom, and then I came back and bro was like, hey, bro, we gotta go. I'm like, what happened? Like, her husband came back. I'm like, oh shoot, what? So, and he was pissed, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that happened. So, there have almost been international incidents started. Yeah. It happens. It's not a new thing. Like, we didn't actually get into a fight. We're like, oh, shoot, okay, good. Let's go ahead and go drink somewhere else then. No worries. But, it happens. People get a little liquored up over there. Honestly, if a fight would have started and he swung, he would have been on a worse spot because he was a foreign national that committed a felony in a different country. We probably could have been out. Like, even if we swung back, we probably wouldn't have. I think we just would have blocked and left. But even if we swung back, we would have been out like by the end of the day. No worries. But he would have been stuck in there. He would have been in the bad spot,
Which grabbing that charger.
Oh yeah, grab the charger for sure. We're shutting you down. Anyway, I'm done kind of babbling about that. But no, yeah, it's not a new thing in Vegas, I don't think.
Oh, and DeBears made a good point, too.
Oh, yeah, what's he saying? Let's go back to my boys.
He mentioned that Vegas was a lot smaller back in the Mafia.
Right, that's true, because it was like...
So a lot easier to control. It's so big now.
Yeah, it's over 2.5 million people nowadays. Even like 40 years ago, it was like, what, half of that? And that's when they were still kind of in their prime. So...
Yeah, they were so much smaller. I don't know.
No, it's definitely a challenge.
I still love going. So.
Right. No, I still love going too, definitely for sure. I don't know. My final thoughts on it. I don't think the Mafia necessarily would have helped because I don't think I'd enjoy a Vegas where the Mafia still ran it because you guys got to keep in mind they would have broken your hands if they caught you counting cards or if you were just winning too much. Like that's still a thing that happened. It was still organized crime. It was organized, but it was crime still. It's just a different type of crime. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they weren't good guys. They were not good guys. Straight up. So.
But would drink service be faster?
Oh, drink service would be a hell of a lot faster.
They
100%.
did start it.
Oh yeah, shoot, they would have made it in the back if they had to. They'd have been like, all right, we still remember how to bootleg over here. Grandpa showed us how to do this. This is fine. So drink service would be better for sure. I think comps would be better, but they're still skimming off the top, and like you weren't allowed to win or anything like that. I'd imagine it'd be a little shady. Oh, yeah, DeBears, he's calling your dog out.
Sorry, our dog is squeaking his chicken.
Well, now you got to put him on camera. That's the best part.
All right, come here, bud. Come here.
Let's see.
Hey, come. Let's see here.
Do you want to pop up?
There
you go. That's a good boy right there. So all
stuffed animals.
All squeaking is approved because he's a good boy.
Sorry about that.
Right. TVP, thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate you. All right. Well, any final thoughts now that we're on the top of the hour? How do you feel about this whole security thing? Like some people are saying security theater in the chat. Other people are saying, it's kind of nice. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about going to Vegas even with this updated security?
I still feel pretty safe. I feel like some of it is really just for things like social media and the news, so they can make it appear that they're doing something to stop these things.
Right.
But I think they're mostly isolated incidents, and I think it's just people being cooped up in their house.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's still a totally safe place to go.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean,
but I'm also very much an optimist.
True. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to my trip. I'm looking forward to meeting friends there. From what I've read, it seems to be pretty isolated. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at punching things. I have some trophies that show I'm pretty good at punching things. But more importantly, my master always told me that train the body, good. Train the mind, better. And I've definitely taken a lot more time to train my mind so I can recognize the situations. I feel pretty good going out there. And I feel pretty good keeping a good eye on myself, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to be okay going forward. I think it's going to be a good spot to be, honestly. It's just keep a hold of yourself and, keep good company, stay with friends, definitely keep it might not be a good time to meet strangers. Sorry, Sin, not a good time to find your cubs. Shots fired. Hashtag. But yeah.
Thanks to Bears.
Right. Bears is the best. Can't wait to see.
Get him one more time.
There we go.
He's very attached.
He's the best boy. That is the goodest best boy for sure.
He's such a good boy.
100%. 1,000 likes in the live stream.
The only part of Vegas that's hard is we can't bring him with.
All right. Well, Bellagio and I think Park MGM are both pet friendly. And Vidara is too. I know it costs more at Vidara for sure. I can't remember how much it costs at Bellagio, but they're all pet friendly too, just for the record.
Yeah, and Planet Hollywood has the world's smallest dog park.
Oh, so there you go. So think about it.
It's like right in the ballet area. You just go across the street. Yeah, I think you'd have a hard time.
Yeah, with all the people.
He's scared of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say I blame him, just given all the stuff that has to happen with security. People kind of suck, so.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's why we're having the trouble we're having. There we go. That's the goodest boy right there. Can we say hi? No, he's gone.
He does have a tuxedo collar, though, so he could also get dressed up.
Okay, you know what? He's invited to Rocktober. I will come pick him up. I'm heading out on Thursday. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll have so much fun in Vegas and meeting everybody.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good to see friends and good to meet some people, too, like Two Fab Dudes, for example. It's going to be the first time I meet him in person.
We were so excited to meet them.
Yeah, it's all right. We're going to work it out.
Everybody, really.
We're going to work it out.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. If nothing else, we'll be at October next year.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for coming.
Our friends that live in Vegas just got engaged, so they're talking about getting married in October 22.
That's even better. So we're going to make it out there.
Get that Rocktober wedding.
All right. Nice. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate you, Chris. Yeah, thanks for coming through for us.
Thanks for having me.
Nice. Any final thoughts before we sign off? Oh, no bother with that. You want? We got a link to your channel in the description box below too. But anything that you want to plug before we go ahead and drop off over here?
Just everybody have a safe and fun Rocktober. We'll be watching from home and cheering you guys on.
Right on. That's how we do. All right, then, Spinners and Sharks. Well,
and we'll get our scavenger hunt scheduled at some point.
Yes, I saw the trailer for that. Don't forget to go ahead and jump in on that. It's gonna be great.
Like after making the trailer, I'm like, oh, do we need anything else?
Oh yeah, gotta do it all. Little teasers here and there. It'll be good.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right then.
All right.
Well, Spinners and Sharks, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks again to Seeking Vegas Sunrise for joining us today. Much love, Christina, and to Anthony keeping us taken care of here in the live chat too. But yeah, unless you have a sign off, do you guys have a sign off, an official one? So it's kind of varied in the videos I watch.
I don't think we do. We're always drunk when we end our vlogs.
They know nothing wrong with that. So, all right. Well, until next time, this is Ace of Vegas. We're signing off, and we're wishing you strong hands, and of course, happy spinning, you guys.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And we'll end that stream. And